Hello and welcome back to Healthy and Wealthy with Coach by SB on Instagram or SB, where we talk about all things fitness, nutrition, and money getting wealthy. And today I want to talk to you about manifestation because I think it's very interesting actually and not spoken about enough in the right context. So I'm just going to go straight into it. When we talk about manifesting, I think there's a certain type of person that maybe thinks that you can sit in your room and meditate your way towards £1 million and a hot body. But in the words of Britney Spears, you got to work, bitch. So do I believe in manifestation? I absolutely do. And I'll be completely honest with you, one of the best books I ever read, and I read it probably when I was about 18, randomly. My sister bought it for one of my parents for a Christmas present that was a bit tongue in cheek, maybe. Anyway, we all ended up reading it, and as much as I don't think it's maybe as, like I say, you lock yourself in your room and you try and manifest £1 million, maybe not going to happen. Might happen if you pay the lottery, but this is what I mean. There has to be some action involved. So manifestation without action is more like delusion, would be my view. But I do think you need to have a level of manifestation in your mind to achieve any of your goals, particularly if they are big and scary goals, which I truly believe everybody's goals should be big and scary, because otherwise you kind of commit a bit more when they're a bit big and scary, is my view. Anyway, manifestation. How do we manifest? Why do I think that it drives the right results? Because, as Henry Ford once said, whether you think you can or you think you can't, you are right. If you don't believe that you can become a millionaire, you will not continue on with a habit, and your choices will be in line with the mindset of it's never going to happen. So if I told myself I'm never going to make £1 million, what is the point in putting £5 a month away if you don't think you're ever going to hit the goal that you've got? And it doesn't even have to be that you hit the £1 million. There's that other saying that I really like that's like, aim for the moon, and if you miss, you'll still land amongst the stars. Very true. Anything you do in life, having a positive manifestation to me is having a positive growth mindset. It's a belief that you can make something happen. It's actually it's a feeling of gratitude as if you already have it. And actually, do you know what? Even if it is bullshit, who fucking cares? Because you're going to walk around as a happier person, believing that you maybe a bit maybe you can go too far with it, you maybe end up be a bit deluded. But if you walk around with the attitude of like, yeah, I'm a millionaire, whatever it may be, I've got, I am somebody with a hot body, whatever it is. I use those two examples because obviously it's what I like talking about, but I don't care what it is. Your behaviors and habits will align with that belief and you will attract it to you. So you will hang out in, I don't know, spin classes on your lunch break. You'll go and get a salad for lunch because, yeah, that's what somebody with a hot body does. And those behaviors, guess what, will get you what you want. So manifestation with action. How do I use it? Well, I always have a goal in mind, an endpoint goal, but I'm not always that fussed on timing or forcing it because I do believe that everything comes to you when you need it. I'm going to out myself as a really, really spiritual woo-woo person here, but I actually am and I don't care. So there we go. If I see 11:11 on a microwave, it's like it's going to be a good day. But I look for the good. Okay, so you could go either way with this and be like, oh, I saw a black cat run from right to left, which I think is the bad way. And it could ruin your whole day. Or you could just choose to let it not. I mean, I don't know. I'm just a positive person, to be honest. And I think everybody should just try and be positive. And I know people go on about toxic positivity. And I get that things are hard sometimes. And sometimes you have to be allowed to wallow and grieve and whatever. And life gets really real sometimes and really hard. And I'm not saying that you kind of push through all of that. but I do think you're a much happier, easier person to be around when you do focus on the positives. Like, if you have a positive mindset around your diet and you have a slip up, as you might refer to it, you could reframe that completely and consider it for what it was. Was it that you had cake at the end of a walk or whatever, and you consider that historically to be a bad food and you've slipped up, so now you might as well have a Chinese when you get home, blah, blah, blah. If you reframe that and just say, yeah, I had a nice bit of cake after a big long walk. That was great. I enjoyed it and I moved on. See? Positive mindset, reframing. Everything begins in your mind. I think it's my brother-in-law actually who said, or someone in his side of the family said, and my sister brought it into our family, said, someone had said, oh, well, I can't do that. And then they said, well, you won't do it with that attitude, which is so true. If you cancel yourself before you've even made any action, you will not get anywhere. So be a little bit deluded, manifest your dream life. It is all achievable. I mean, look, if Donald Trump can be president of the United States and some of the wild things that you see in the world, then why isn't it possible for you? And what's the harm in believing it anyway? That's the thing as long as you leave it, I think the key is trusting what comes for you is right for you. So there's no point trying to manifest and force something and then getting really annoyed and upset when it doesn't happen for you. And also timing, like just because you manifest something doesn't mean it's going to happen in the next 2 years. It could be in the next 20 years for all you know. And this is what I mean. You have to have a bit of trust in the universe. A trust that there's something out there for you. And if it does pass you by, then it was never meant for you. And I just think that makes you, in fact, I think there's actually studies that and it's not to say that you have no agency, because I think it also often gets confused with people who just let life happen to them. So there's two things that are important here. Like, you cannot just be someone that like lies down and lets life happen to you, because you won't get anywhere with that. That's having no control. If you're like, well, I'm going to manifest my dream body but not do anything about it, and then you remain in a position of no change and still feeling rubbish about yourself or whatever it may be, then that's not to say that you kind of don't say to yourself, well, I have free will and I have agency and I can actually drive a behaviour, as opposed to just saying, well, I thought about being in banging shape and having millions in the bank, but I didn't actually do anything about it. I think you have to be realistic with that and say, okay. But you do, your magnetism, your confidence, it attracts a similar sort of people as well. If you start talking about things and saying, I want to do this, if you put it out in the world, you'll bump into people who have similar views as you. And then who knows, like, I think we're better as people when we collaborate, to be honest. I mean, what's that proverb that's like, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together? I really like that one as well. I'm just coming out with quotes and manifestations. It's like a girly Pinterest board going on here. Pinterest board, that's another one. Like vision boarding, it's like fun anyway, you know? If you were just like sitting watching Netflix, why don't you just like do a vision board at the same time? Be like, yeah, I'm going to manifest all this shit in my life. And it doesn't even have to be anything material or anything physical, but it could just be, you know, how you want to move in the world. I do believe that actually getting in shape and having some wealth and money behind you is a really good way to drive up your confidence, because you have a bit of a buffer and a bit of a safety net behind you for everything you go into. It just changes. You don't have to say yes to everything. You can say no. If life throws you lemons, you can make lemonade. Boom, there's another one. So yeah, manifesting, the universe has your back, all of that I think is beautiful. And I know it's actually quite a feminine thing, which is, it always seems to be targeted at women, for women, by women, which is interesting actually. Very interesting. But I do believe, but it has to be with habit changes. So if you want to be a millionaire, In what respect? Do you want it in your bank account? Do you want it in your property? Do you want it, like, this is the thing, it also comes to you in different ways that you don't expect. Like, you could buy a house for £500,000 and then the property prices could skyrocket to over £1 million over a 20-year period for all you know. Well, they have historically. I actually don't think they're going to do that in the next 20 years, but there we go. Although maybe, I don't know. Depends on supply and demand. Anyway, I'm not here predicting the future house price growths in the UK, but I am here to say that it may come to you in ways. And if you seek it out and say, yes, I did achieve it, it just makes you believe it, and then you just do more of it, and more good things happen to you. I think generally being a positive person as well. I mean, who wants to talk to someone who's just like, everything is doom and gloom? Have you ever noticed if you get in a conversation with someone and they're negative and you just think they're just like energy vampires, you know? So I try and I can be a bit cynical myself at times, don't get me wrong. It depends on my situation. I wouldn't say I like necessarily that side of me. I would say I'm actually quite a skeptic. Am I skeptic? No, I'm not skeptic. Cynical, maybe. Maybe it takes me a lot to trust someone. I would definitely say that. And I don't think any of that's necessarily too bad a thing. But I do like the energy of being around positive people. They just lift you up. Energy is this is the other thing. Energy is so contagious. Like, okay, so you want to give you a really stupid example, okay? The guy in the shop next to my son's nursery is a super, super nice guy, and we always chat on to him, and I'm always telling Sebastian, say thank you to him, be nice to him, da-da-da. For no reason, just because he's nice, and I think you should be nice to everybody. And he always gives my son a free chocolate bar, right? So if I was like manifesting, I am a millionaire, blah, blah, blah. This is a really wild example, to be honest, I don't know why I picked it, but like, I'm kind of, by being a nice, positive person, we're getting free chocolate, which is saving me money, which I can then invest, which I can then grow my portfolio more and more. You see what I'm saying? So, yeah, not to out the guy giving us free chocolate bars, because I don't know if he's allowed to get free chocolate bars, and no one knows where my son goes to nursery, so it's fine. But I'm just saying little things like that. And if you look for things like that and it makes you believe it more, then great. Yeah, I just think positive people are the best people to be around, and everybody needs to have a little delusion, because if you told yourself it was impossible for you, you could never do it, then you won't, because every single decision you make will have that thread running through it. So you'd be like, why would I bother putting £5 in an investment account? I'm never going to get anywhere with it. That would be your attitude for everything. I do know people like this as well in life who are just super negative. And I think it's okay to have like boundaries and know what you don't like and things like that, and say no to things. And they're all technically, I guess, negatives. But I think that, yeah, manifestation is alive and well, and you should practice it in your life. And I do very much believe with the body stuff, if you literally tell yourself, I am a fit, like, absolute weapon, I'm absolutely jacked, it makes you, because that's what I tell myself. And I know that I'm not, so don't worry. I am joking a little bit, but I make choices around. I identify as that person. So fitness is kind of my personality, and it doesn't have to be your personality, right? Okay, I'm making it mine. Health and wealth is obviously my new personality. But I make choices aligned with that identity that I've given myself. And the same with you. If you manifest and say, yeah, I am. You don't say I'm going to be. You say I am a fit and healthy person. Every time you make a choice, you just say, would a fit and healthy person do that? Yes or no? If it's a no, put it back. If it's a probably not, but it's okay, because actually I know how to handle this, because I am a fit and healthy person. So I'm not saying use it to kind of push you down a clean eating, orthorexic kind of vibe of eating and being. And although, to be honest, if you want to be like bodybuilding shape, then you do kind of have to eat like that. So you have to also look at what your goals are and whether actually you want to live in line with those goals and that manifestation, because you need to fall in love with the process of anything, which is why I advocate for very sustainable methods, because not everybody wants to live in the gym, and not everybody wants to just eat chicken salads 24/7, or whatever the case may be, or FIRE, so financially independent, retire early, is a community of people who want to retire at age 40, but they want to do it by being super frugal. Like, I don't know, not that shopping at Costco makes you frugal, but I mean, never going on holiday, never doing this, that, and that. And then they intend to, they don't want to work, and then they intend to retire early and continue living like that. Now, that to me sounds like absolute hell. Like, why? No. So, I don't know where I was going with that. But manifestation isn't to push you down a route of one route to, yes, I want to be a millionaire because I want to retire at 40, but what kind of life are you going to have? Or, I want to be in really good shape, but actually I'm not really going to enjoy the process because I'm going to be in too good shape to maintain it, and therefore all my choices have to align with this. It's more just to say a little general belief that you can achieve your goals is good. And yes, I'm super, super into manifesting. I'm not actually manifesting anything at the minute, if I think about it, actually, but maybe I should. Maybe I should look at my vision board or do a vision board. Maybe it would be more apt, because I don't do that really. To be honest, I just know other people do it. Maybe it'd be further on in life. I think with me, I kind of probably get manifestation mixed up with being positive. So my takeaway anyway this week is to put a little delusion in your life and manifest a little bit of magic, and know that you are already exactly what you want to believe, where you want to be. If you believe it, you are it, and your dreams can come true. And that's it for this week. So catch you on the next episode. Bye.